I think economic fuel really taps into a vital component of our future.
It provides a wonderful opportunity for people to that have an idea in terms of creating a business or starting a business to take that to the next level and actually make it happen.
It helps them really think about what it is they need to do to start a business, to keep a business going, and to succeed in it. And actually why they want to start a business as well.
Economic fuel competition is very important to our community. I'm proud to be a part of it. From the entrepreneur standpoint, it's important that they get to hone their business plan and make it much more refined with the assistance of advisors.
I think the economic fuel competition is one of the most incredible competitions we have going locally in our community. The amount of capital that is given away and just kind of the head start and all the opportunities that are present are just phenomenal, and I don't know why anybody wouldn't do it. If you're thinking about starting a business, this is definitely the thing to check out.
There's a lot of folks out there that have thought about the possibility of starting a business, but when something like a $25,000 first place prize is an option, it maybe takes them to that next level to actually go ahead and do it.
Then, obviously the money is a huge thing. It helped me a lot. It enables people to obviously get a $25,000 boost for the winners without needing to incur debt at that point, which in some businesses it can make you or break you. Sometimes the debt early on can really hurt somebody, and you don't have to have that. So it's good. It's good for the community as a whole. We have new, fresh ideas, startup businesses, which who knows could be the next largest employer in the county. You never know.
For all of the student competitors from HSU and College of the Redwoods, whether they win money or not, if they go through the process of really thinking through a business plan and submitting to the competition, they learn a ton, and that will benefit them down the road, especially if they become business owners, but not only if they become business owners.
Economic fuel is so important, and people get focused on the prizes, which I think are critical, the prizes. But really the training and management education and the thought process that the entrepreneurs have to go through, I think, is even more value. Even if they don't win a prize, they've gone through that process.
As some of the different industries in Humboldt County have continued to dwindle, especially the timber industry and so forth, I think that it's really important that we continue to have other businesses come in and take the place of those monies that are lost out of our economy.
There are no big corporations with big pension plans that are going to provide for a lot of people at this point. It's going to be a much more entrepreneurial world, and I think that economic fuel is really a first step of young people getting a chance to really think about that.
Individuals have to take initiative to start their own business and have employees and kind of sustain the future in that small fashion. And together with all of the small entrepreneurial activity that's happening, it really leaves a big impact. And so I've always wanted to own my own business, and I feel a lot of pride in that, and it takes a lot of time and energy, but it's something that's highly rewarding, and I can't imagine not doing it.
Our entrepreneurs are so valuable to our local economy. You look around and pretty much all the businesses that we have are small businesses. And so therefore they're critical. And we see nationwide that our small business owners create products and services that are customized to a locality. And so therefore we have customized products for Humboldt County because of our local entrepreneurs.
You need entrepreneurs. They bring money into the economy sometimes from out of the area. They keep money circulating locally. They hire people. So entrepreneurs, I'm pretty sure that it's small businesses and entrepreneurs like that employ the most amount of people in the country.
One thing that we lack, that the country lacks, including the state and Humboldt County, is an abundance of good jobs. And I think the entrepreneurial spirit and the competition itself definitely brings forward the possibility of new job creation.
As an entrepreneur, you're not just taking a bite out of the Humboldt County pie. What you're doing is you're making the Humboldt County pie a little bit bigger so that everyone else can have a bite too. You're creating jobs. And the innovation behind entrepreneurship and the spirit that drives entrepreneurs are really important, not just for the economy, but for the culture here as well. As a small business owner, you're a part of a community, a really tight-knit community of people that really help each other out and look out for each other. And that in itself is invaluable.
Entrepreneurs are valuable here locally because you look around at all the small companies that were started by people who are classified as entrepreneurs, and they're the drivers of a significant portion of our economy, not individually, but collectively.
They're the seeds to our economic vitality. They're buying space or renting space, they're buying services and goods from other local businesses. When they're successful, they're hiring other individuals and they're paying taxes. They're promoting and building the future leaders that are interacting with today's businesses. Students should prepare for the competition by talking to as many newly formed and successful businesses as they possibly can. Find out what made them successful, what were the problems they encountered, and most importantly, why.
Students should prepare for the economic field competition by attending SBDC classes. I highly recommend that. Also meeting with other business owners in our community. Use the resources we have around here. I met with other business owners and they mentored me on how to be successful business owners, basically. So I think using as many of the classes that economic field provides to create a good business plan, basically.
I feel like students should prepare for this competition by talking to every advisor and business person that they can get their hands on, because their advice is just indispensable, it's invaluable, and it's probably some of the best business advice that you'll get for free in your life.
The biggest thing anybody can do to prepare for the competition is to find something that they're passionate about. If they're passionate about something, the rest will kind of fall into place because the work doesn't seem like work. If you're passionate about your business, you come to work for long hours and it doesn't feel like working.
I don't want really anyone to go out unprepared to start a business. And that's the huge reason behind the Institute for Entrepreneurship Education at Humboldt, is to help students here at Humboldt-wide, not just in the School of Business, but all majors help prepare for entrepreneurship and business ownership.
The competitors, or potential competitors, should consider if they would invest their own money in that very same idea. And if they have any hesitation, address that hesitation.
Folks who are going to be involved in the competition need to really be prepared to be realistic, quite honestly. I think where I've seen the most failures in my lending career is when people just were not realistic about things.
I mean, just really, really know your business. You have to know your business inside and out. The worst thing they could ever do is stump you on a question about your business. It's something you're supposed to know. So you just gotta study hard and go for it. Confidence is the main thing, when you're doing anything, confidence. You gotta have confidence in your business. If you're not confident it's gonna succeed, how are the judges supposed to be confident in giving you $25,000?
Students really should talk to as many entrepreneurs as they can and really try to understand what drives that, what makes somebody successful at it.
I think the people who should enter economic fuel are those who have a passion and a burning idea, and one thing about business is you may not be successful the first time. It's a process, you learn it, there's a lot to learn. This is a great way to start that process.
Economic field started my lifelong career, basically. I have grown over the last 5 years, so I always go back to economic field. It was the seed that planted both of these two businesses that I have, and the more that I continue to grow, because my plan is to grow more. It has provided, for my family over the years. It has created a huge networking system for me, which is huge. So it gives me other opportunities to volunteer my time, such as like within soccer, within other organizations. So I think networking is huge in our community, and economic started that. Economic field started all that.
Obviously, it really helped jumpstart my business. It really did. Definitely things started snowballing after that. The money was great, the confidence in my business, I'm telling you, I was so confident afterwards. I was just pumped, I felt 10 feet tall after the competition. And from there, when you have confidence in your business and everything else, it just starts snowballing. You can go into a meeting, you know, confident about the service, confident about the business. You know, this is a success. This is really, you know, I have a good shot at this business, you know, really working.
The economic fuel competition has really given my business name some notoriety. Tying the iPhone Surgeon name to the economic fuel name has given me some publicity, and it's given my business a type of prestige that I got from being a part of the competition. In addition to that, having the capital helped me open the storefront.
The competition on a whole has had a massively positive effect on my life. Just the whole process, going through and writing the business plan, doing the financials, and really looking at my business in a critical fashion, really kind of took me in a whole nother direction that I might have not ever gone if I hadn't gone through this competition. Obviously, the huge capital that's awarded kind of fast-forwarded the progression of my business a number of years. I feel like I would have gotten to this point eventually, but having that extra capital, it kind of goes without saying that it takes you a long way in kind of advancing your business and jump-starting it and giving you a lot more power and means and resources to achieve your goals a lot sooner than maybe you normally would have been able to on your own.
You know, I just really have a lot of respect for anyone that goes through that process, because it's really intimidating when you have to stand up there on a stage and you have 2 minutes to sell your business, you know, to a group of complete strangers, and knowing that you're being judged and evaluated on that. You know, so the whole process in itself, it can be a little intimidating, you know, but I think that anyone goes through it, even if you don't win the money, I would certainly assume that you would learn so much going through that process.
I would say being a judge has humbled me in a very real sense, in terms of just what it takes to start a business. It reminds me of that, and you know, I have tremendous respect for anyone that's willing to try that.
You know, again, for me, it makes me a better business person, just being a judge, because I look at the work that these students put into this, and I realize that we all need to do that. You know, we all need to be business planning all the time, and really reevaluating our own strategies, our own market positions, our own strengths and weaknesses. So from that perspective, I've gotten a lot out of it. That's one of the reasons I do the judging. I also feel really good about it, and I've seen some of these businesses, you know, start up and, you know, actually begin to, you know, take hold and become their own entities, and that's really fulfilling. So.
It's an amazing honor to be able to work with these students who are creating their dreams and working towards their passion. And that, I think, is really neat, to be a part of that and enjoy the ride with them. And I always say that it doesn't matter. It matters to them if they win or don't win, but it's the process that's so amazing, and it's the self-confidence that they can gain from just going through the process, standing up and giving an elevator pitch. I mean, that night when I see my students give their elevator pitches is a really emotional night for me, because I know that that's one of the hardest things they're doing in their entire college career, and I am so proud of them. And so for me, it's just the pride and the honor of working with these students. Is really how economic field has impacted my life in a super positive way.